So basically guys, this is a rule. Basically guys, this is a result basically. It's not really a rule, it's a result, but you need to remember this result. Because if you don't remember this result, it can really create a lot of problems. So these are the 3 rules that I want you guys to remember. Okay? These are the 3 important rules I want you guys to remember. So now what I'm going to do is that now that I've already told you, I've already told you this rule in the beginning. Now I've told you these 3 rules. So now that all of you guys, are familiar with these rules, let's get ready to rock and roll. Okay? So let's do logarithms now. So now I'm going to erase this also because I'm assuming you already know it. Okay. So let's get started with our questions. We were going slow the whole time, but now it's time for me to really step up to the plate with these questions. Okay? So let's go. Now I've taken these questions from books, guys. These are not, these are not my questions. Okay? These are not my questions. Let me be very honest. Okay? These are not my questions. If they were my questions, I would just be writing them down without looking. The reason why I keep on looking is so that I don't get anything wrong. So let's do some practice questions. I'm going to do about 10 to 12 practice questions with you. Okay. So what we need to do is, what we're going to do is we are going to convert them from logarithmic equations to exponential equations, and then we're going to solve them. Okay? So let's get started. Okay? So first one is log base 2 to the power 64 equals x. So why don't you try solving this? Till then, I'll write another question. Okay? So log base 5 to the power 625 equals x. Okay? So that's the second question. So I'm going to write 2 more. Till then, try solving those. Okay? So then you have log base 9 to the power 3 equals x. Okay? And then you have log base 10 to the power 1 equals x. Okay? So let me just do one thing. There's hardly any space on this side. So I'm going to write it right here. Log base 9 to the power 3 equals x. Okay? So now let's solve them together. So now I hope you already solved these 2, and now you're probably solving these 2. But anyways, let's do them together. So it's basically easy, guys. The first one is easy. So remember what I told you guys. 2 is the base here, so that's why I write 2. X is the exponent, and then 64 is the natural number. So then you have 2 to the power x, and then you have 2 to the power 6, because when you multiply 2 6 times, you get 64. And so here, the answer is x equals 6. Okay? X equals 6. So let's do this one. So this one is again 5, because you have the base is 5, x is the exponent. So then you have 5 to the power x equals 625. So then 5 times what gives you 625? So that is 5 to the power 4. So you get 5 to the power 4 is 625. Okay? 5 to the power 4 is 625. okay? And then x is equal to 4, okay? X is equal to 4. Okay, basically, I don't think you can see that properly. So I don't think you can see that properly. So I'm gonna just, I'm just gonna write that here. X is equal to 4. Okay, x is equal to 4. So I've put an arrow just so that you know x is equal to 4. So let's do the last one now. Last one is very easy, okay? 10 to the power x is equal to 0.01, okay? So what does that become? 0.01, what does it become? It becomes 10 to the power 2. So it becomes 10x to the power 2. Okay, well, negative 2, I beg your pardon. It becomes negative 2 because it's a decimal. And then x equals negative 2. Okay? X equals negative 2. So, I hope by now you are comfortable in solving these. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm directly just going to write the answers, okay? When I mean directly write the answers, I mean I'm not going to explain anything. I'm directly going to just do it like this, So I hope you've copied all of this down. So now I'm just going to erase it. Okay. So now what I want to tell you is that after solving all the questions, if I take 2-3 minutes, to just erase the board or say anything else, it's just a message of me telling you to copy everything down. And I don't want to keep on, telling you to copy everything down. So whenever you see that I'm not doing anything, I'm just staring into space, the message that I'm getting is please copy everything on the board before I erase it. Okay, so now let's go. Okay, so basically we have more. Okay, so you have log 16 to the power 2 equals x. Okay, so because we only have 2 here, let me just write them, and then we have one more. Log 25 to the power 25 equals x. Okay? What's x? So, how do you solve these two? Okay. So basically this is very easy. So like I said, I'm not going to explain anything. So then you have 2 to the power 4. Okay, 2 to the power 4x. So equals 2 to the power 1x. So then you have 4x, which equals 1. And then you have x equals 1 to the power 4. Okay? So I'm sure you know why I did that, but also I hope you know this, because there's x here, so you have 2 to the power 4 and then you have x outside, and then these two will multiply. Remember the exponential rules that I told you about, the exponent laws that I told you about? That's why it becomes this, okay? And then you have 4x equals 1, and then you divide both sides by 4, and then you get 1 by 4. And remember that if both these bases are not the same, then there's something wrong with your answer. So these two bases have to always be identical, have to always be the same. It can't be that this is a second base and this is a third base. No. Okay? What I mean to say is, it can't be that the base on one side is A and the base on the other side is B. Both the bases have to be identical, okay? Now, don't confuse this with baseball, okay? What I told you before, you can relate it to baseball. But don't try and relate this to baseball, otherwise you will just get confused. Guys, there's something wrong with my eyes. That's why they keep on dilating. This one's pretty easy. 25 to the power x equals 25. And then you have 25x equals 25 to the power 1, and then x equals 1. Okay? So this is what it is. Okay? So, okay. Okay. Okay, guys. So this is how you solve both of these. So now I hope you understand how I solve these two. So now what I'm going to do is, now we're going to start solving some exponential equations, okay? Now we're going to start solving exponential equations. And then we are going to solve other sorts of logarithmic equations as well. Okay? So now we're going to solve. So what I'm saying is, now we're going to solve more exponential equations. More logarithmic equations by converting them into exponential equations, but they'll be a little harder. Okay? So I hope you've taken this down. Okay. So now there are a few rules that I just want to familiarize you with. Okay? So what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to go into the Goldilocks and three wolves of these laws. I'm just going to write them up there so that you understand what they are. So this is the first one. A to the power m, okay, multiplied by n equals a to the power mn. A to the power m, okay, equals a to the power m divided by n. And now I'm going to write one more rule, is this one, guys. I hope you remember this rule.